Hey there, got a biology test coming up? Or maybe you just want a quick refresher on human reproduction? Well, you've come to the right place. Let's dive right in.
All right, so we're going to break this all down with some simple questions and answers. That way, everything's going to stick a lot better. You ready? Let's get started.
Okay, so over the next few minutes, we're going to hit 5 key topics. We'll start with the basics of reproduction, then jump into puberty, fertilization, a little bit of genetics, and wrap up with some really important health info.
So, first things first, let's tackle the big one. What is reproduction, really? And why is it so important?
You know, in simple terms, it's just the process of making new life. But here's the crucial part. Without it, a species, any species, whether it's humans, animals, or plants, would just disappear. It's literally the engine that keeps life going.
Now, human reproduction isn't a one-sided deal. It involves two totally different systems. So, let's take a look at what they do and how they're different.
So you can see they kind of have parallel jobs, right? The male system, its main gig is producing sperm in the testes. Meanwhile, the female system is producing eggs in the ovaries. Both are making these essential sex cells and hormones, but each one has a completely unique and vital role to play.
But here's the thing. These reproductive systems aren't just on from the day we're born. Nope, they get switched on during a really important phase of life, which brings us right to our next topic, puberty.
So, what's puberty all about? Well, think of it as the body's big transition from being a kid to becoming an adult. It's that time when the reproductive organs kind of wake up and get fully functional. They start producing those all-important sex cells, sperm and eggs, and the hormones that kick off all the changes we're about to talk about.
And those changes are really distinct from males and females. For guys, you've got the voice deepening, shoulders getting wider. For girls, breasts start to develop, and, a really big one, the menstrual cycle begins. All of these are physical clues that the body is getting ready for reproduction.
Speaking of the menstrual cycle, let's zoom in on that for a second. It's a huge part of the female reproductive process, but what's actually happening every month? Okay, so the cycle kicks off with menstruation, but the main event, the real key moment, happens around day 14. That's ovulation, when an egg gets released from the ovary. This makes the days around it, say from day 10 to 15, the most fertile time. Now, if that egg doesn't get fertilized, the lining of the uterus is shed, and boom, the cycle starts all over again.
So we've got the sperm, we've got the egg, and we've got that fertile window. So what happens when they actually meet? Let's break down how fertilization works.
It is an absolutely incredible journey. I mean, think about it. Millions of sperm travel all the way from the vagina to the fallopian tubes, but only one, just one, gets to fuse with the egg. That creates a brand new single cell called a zygote. And right away, it starts dividing and becomes an embryo. The final step is when that tiny embryo attaches to the wall of the uterus, that's called implantation, and that's where it'll continue to grow. So this new embryo is formed, and it's carrying a mix of information from both parents. But how does that actually work? How do we get our eye color from our mom or our height from our dad? Well, that brings us to the amazing world of genetics. It all boils down to these things called chromosomes. They're like our genetic blueprint. The mother's egg provides the first half of that blueprint, exactly 23 chromosomes.
And, you guessed it, the father's sperm provides the other half, another 23 chromosomes. So when they fuse together, the chromosomes combine. 23 plus 23 gives that new zygote a full set of 46. And this unique combination of genes is what determines literally everything about a person, from their hair color to, well, almost everything.
Okay, but understanding reproduction isn't just about the biology. It's also about being aware of health and safety. So let's finish up by looking at some important risks you should definitely know about.
All right, let's talk about sexually transmitted infections, or STIs. These are serious diseases that can be passed during sexual contact. Some, like syphilis and gonorrhea, are caused by bacteria. Others, like the well-known HIV, are caused by a virus. The really important thing to know is that all of them can cause serious, long-term health problems if they aren't treated, anything from infertility to even worse.
But here's the good news. STIs are preventable, and the most effective ways to stay safe are pretty straightforward. Using condoms, avoiding casual sex with lots of different partners, and never, ever sharing needles. It really all comes down to making safe, smart, and informed choices for yourself.
And the health risks don't stop with STIs. It's also absolutely critical to understand the impact of substance abuse during pregnancy. The choices someone makes can have a permanent negative effect on a developing fetus.
What kind of effects are we talking about? Well, for example, using things like tobacco, alcohol, or other drugs during pregnancy can lead to a baby being born too early or with a very low birth weight. It can also seriously mess with the development of vital organs, like the heart and the brain, and that can lead to lifelong challenges for the child.
And that's our super fast recap of human reproduction. I mean, when you think about it, from a single tiny cell to a whole complex person, it's a truly incredible process. So as you keep studying this, just ask yourself, what part of this amazing journey do you find the most fascinating? Pretty cool stuff to think about.